Gadunk, 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 instead of phew, phew, phew. Hello and welcome. My name is Fredrik Zillen and I'm a running technique specialist. I know, it sounds so logical. In order to run fast, you have to make sure that there is quite a lot of forces pushing your body forward. But how do we do that? Do we land and push the foot forward? No, we don't. Then we will probably just create a lot of braking forces, right? Well, should we put the foot straight down? Well, maybe not straight down because we want to run forward, not up. Should we push the foot backwards? And now you are probably shouting in front of your screen, yes, it's backwards! Push the foot backwards! And if that is what you should do, it would be great to make sure that you pull your foot backwards so it moves backwards in relation to the Earth's surface before it hits the ground. Like this. And we have all been doing this kind of drill, haven't we? And this is called the pullback. And it is supposed to be an important part of running fast and efficiently. Pulling your foot under your body should, in theory, reduce the risk of overstride. Well, that's what I've heard on social media anyway. While moving your foot backwards also increases the forces that pushes you forward. And those are two things that I've heard as argument in favor of the pullback being the way to go. But I'm sorry, pullback is not a thing, at least not something you need to worry about at all. Because what you forget when you show how the foot is here and then it's moved under the body like this, is that the body is not still when you run. The body moves forward and then it becomes something completely different. And if we look at elite runners, we see that their feet do not move backwards in relation to the ground before they land. But before we come to the elite runners, let's start from the beginning with this. What provides power when you run comes mainly from three parts: the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Hip, knee, ankle. Or perhaps I should say that the power should come from these three parts. However, it is very common that this is not the case, as runners do not find this power from the hip at all. And then they have to compensate with other parts, which I would say is by far the most common cause of lower back injuries, problems with hamstrings, and above all, injuries to calves and Achilles tendons. No power from the hip, and then you have to push harder with your calves as compensation. But more about that in another video, or in my online course, of course, which has a lot about exactly this. You can find a link to the course in the text below this video. As I have said in previous videos, running is not like pushing a car in front of you. There is no active pushing. Instead, it's more like a bounce. You land, but before you can bounce back up, you have moved your body here, before the push-off comes from your hip, knee, and ankle. And as I said in my latest video called "Yes, you should also move upwards when running," you have to have some movements upwards to be energy efficient. You can't just have forces going straight forward. And the more the vertical forces you produce, the greater the force pushing you upwards, forwards at this point. I hope you're with me so far, because now we finally get to the main topic of this video, the pullback. You have probably seen good runners and coaches who show you that you should have your foot here, this is the body, and then pull your foot backwards under the body so that the foot has as much backward movement as possible, as it prevents overstride and will push the body forward. So, according to this pullback supporters, the foot should move backwards in relation to the ground. So if you're standing still, it looks like this, foot, body. But as I said, you don't stand still when you run. Your body is moving forward all the time. So it is not that the foot is here and then pulled under the body like this. Instead, the foot is here and then it goes more or less vertically down to the ground like this. But wait a minute, you might be thinking, that's an overstride. If your foot is slightly in front of the body and then goes straight down, you will land too far in front of your body. No. You didn't listen to the part about the body moving forward. Now did you? So the foot is here and it goes almost vertically straight down, but the body moves forward like this. And it becomes kutunk, kutunk, kutunk. And there is a huge difference between doing this and this, kunk, kunk. And if you now think the vertical movement of the foot just makes me stomp the ground and make me bounce straight up, no, that is not what is happening. I land here, a little bit in front of me, then I do a micro compression of the body as the tendons and muscle attachments and other elastic parts are charged with elastic energy to take advantage of the stretch shortening cycle. And then I have time to move my body to this place before I spring off, which leads to power from the hip, knee and ankle. Like this. Down, micro compression, body moves here, you bounce up when you have your foot in a position relative to your body that you are pushed up forward with your hip, knee and ankle. Don't believe me? How about watching some good runners to see how much they pull back and pull their feet backwards in relation to the ground when they run? So to summarize, vertical forces is important if you want to run fast and efficiently. But a big vertical force doesn't mean that you bounce straight up. You land here, you let your body have time to compress a bit, move to this place, then you spring back up forward with power from your hip, knee and ankle. Baka-dum, boom, boom, ding, ding, shoo. And if your foot moves backwards just before it hits the ground, you will get hardly any vertical power at all. And if you try to move your feet in a circle like a wheel to get this pullback, this backward movement of the feet, you will probably start to overstride. I have actually made a separate video about exactly this, and it's called This common instruction can ruin your running technique. They take the feet, put the feet a bit in front of them so they can do the pullback, but almost never have time to get the feet under the body and just reaches out and land with overstride. And finally, no, the feet do not move backwards in relation to the ground, at least not as much as it has any significant impact on your running. The foot goes down while the body moves forward, or like this. And that's it for today. See you in the next video. I really hope you liked that video, and if you did, you please click the like button and maybe also the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos here on my channel. And if you are interested in my online course, you find all the information about that one in the description below.